Daf Nun Gimel Amud Aleph, the first line right at the top of the Amud. Son Rabbanan v'nosan es hakteres ala eish lifnei Hashem. Aaron Kain, he should take the keteres, bring it into Kodesh Kodashim, and he should burn it on the fire before Hashem. So we learn that from here, he should not burn it outside and bring it burning inside. He should bring it inside, and then he should burn it. The pasuk says that so first it says vehevi, then it says so we learn therefore that he first brings it in, not burning. He brings it in the keteres, he brings the coals, he puts the keteres on the coals in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. That is lahitim b'liban shel tzedukim sharmim, and that is to tell us not like the tzedukim, to counter the tzedukim who say yisakin b'chutz v'yachnes. They say no, put it on the coals, put the keteres on the coals outside, and bring it burning inside. My dorush, what do they darshan? It says kiba onan eralakapayas. It says that the pasuk says v'yamar shalom Moshe darbalan achich va'al yom v'chol eisal hakodesh mibeis lapachariches al pnei kaparas shalvan v'lo yomas kiba onan eralakapayas bezayis yava Aaron. So it says he should not come with any come into the Kodesh Kadoshim except with this. So this is what he comes in. That he comes in, and he's entitled to come in with the keteres. Only if he has the keteres, meaning he has to burn the keteres outside and come in inside. That you burn it outside and come in with the keteres already burning, and that's how you enter. Said to them, no, you have to put the keteres on the fire, lifnei Hashem, in the Kodesh Kodashim. That's where you put it in. So what does it mean when it says kiba anan era'olakapayres? With the anan, I will appear over there, and kiba anan era'olakapayres, with the cloud, I will appear upon the aron. So it's malamech and nisan b'malahashem. It teaches a different halacha. It teaches that the smoke has to rise up and to the ceiling. It has to come up to the ceiling. Therefore, you have to put in this ingredient that's called mala'ashan, this herb that's called mala'ashan, and in order for the smoke, the column of smoke to rise. How do I know you put mala'ashan? The Gemara will ask, what do you mean? We just brought a riot to that. What's the repetition here? We'll see shortly. So, therefore, you learn how loy nosan b'mala'ashan. You learn out that if you don't put in the mala'ashan, or shechisar achad b'kol saman now, or if you're missing any of the samanim, chayev misa. If you're missing any of the samanim, then you're chayev misa. The mala'ashan rather is an essential ingredient. Typically, the Komayel be a rekonis. Why don't I know it anyway? Because he's coming to be a rekonis. The Torah says that Vayemer Hashem al Moshe Dabra al Arnachich Val Yom V'chol Eisal HaKodesh Miveis L'Paraychos Al Pnei Kaparas Tzral Ran V'lo Yomos Kibon Aral Kaparas. You can't come needlessly into the Kodesh Kadoshim. If you come for no purpose, there's a Chiyuv Misa. It's only if he is being marked to the keteres. So I know automatically that if he has a deficient keteres, he can't be marked to it, so then he's coming needlessly, and there's a chiyuv misa. So why do I need another limud? So Amar Osheshes, he answers, and coming in, he was a shogeg. He didn't know that there was a chiyuv misa, or he didn't know that it was deficient. But by the time of the haktorah, the burning it, he did know. So therefore, for coming in the biyarekonis, there's no chiyuv misa. It was a shogeg, but for the haktorah, there is. Ramashi Omer, he says, you can say it was a major of both. But what's the answer is, going to Eil Shtei Haktoras. He brought in two keteres to burn. One was deficient, one wasn't. He's not chayiv for the coming in, because he's not coming in needlessly. He has one keteres that's not deficient, so he's not chayiv for the coming in. Because he's also bringing in a sholem. But for the burning is chaim to come back to ketaris chaser, because he's burning a ketaris which is chosim. How do we know that you have to put in mala'oshan? It says v'kavre crawl. Do you need a pasuk to support a pasuk? We already learned out that you need mala'oshan. Omar Rav Yosef, he says, I only know that the mala'oshan that you bring is the leaf of it. Ikar mala'oshan minayin. How do I know that the root also you can use for it? It says it covers, and this also causes it to cover to be a kisa on an ketaris, to cover the aron. So therefore, it's also kosher. From Relay, the Gemara, we learn just the opposite. The Tanya we learned the Brisa taught v'nosan by ikar mala'oshan. He puts in the root of the mala'oshan, and haymatamra v'ala kamaka, and the cloud of smoke rose like a stick. It rose up like metamra kamaka, like a stick, until it reached the ceiling. Once the column of smoke reached the ceiling, then it would be it moved and it spread out and it came down the walls. Until it filled the whole room with smoke. It says the pasuk that the whole house was filled with the ocean. The Tais Rishonim explained that this is only an asmachta because this is not referring to the ketaris. This is really not referring to the ketaris over here. It's referring to the srofim. But it's an asmachta. But I'll call upon him. You see from here that the main ingredient that was used was the root, not the leaf. Elam or Abaye says, I only know the ikar mala'oshan. How do I know even the leaf? The root is the main one. How do I know even the leaf? That v'chisa, and this also causes it to cover. Rav Sheshas Omar in the yellow oil moed b'midbar. I only know that this is needed, it's required in the oil moed in the midbar. Shiloi beis halamim minayin. How do I know that it's also in the Mishkan Shiloh and the Beis Hamikdash also that's required? Tamalim v'chisa. It says v'chisa. Tomorrow, what do you mean? Because it says v'chisa, haim v'chein yasel oil moed hasheich and itam nafka. The pasuk says that they should do it with the oil moed hasheich and itam, meaning that mimarb in the future generations of Beis Hamikdash. The Gemara says hachi kamer eli ela b'yom kippurim. No, the limud is not for the Beis Hamikdash. For Mishkan Shilitz, I only know this is for Yom Kippur. How do I know that the ketaris? There's a daily ketaris that they're makter in the morning and evening. How do I know that ketaris also needs a mala'oshan? It says v'chisa. Rav Ashi Omar, he said the limud is chad l'mitzvah, chad la'akev. He said one is for the mitzvah and one is to be ma'akev. One is mitzvah and one is to be ma'akev. The Mishnah Melech explained the Rambam. He says, even though we have a limud over here, that we're marba not only the Keteris and Yom Kippur, and we're marba also that it's also for the Yom Kippur Shari Yemais Shana, and we have a limud chad la'mitzvah chad la'akev. But he says there is a chiluk. There is a chiluk that the limud that we say Eli Eli B'Yom Kippur. But B'Shari Yemais Shana minayin. How do you know you need mala'oshan? He learns in the Rambam that the mala'oshan that's required for the rest of the year, that's only la mitzvah. That's a mitzvah min ha'mochar. What's ma'akev is on Yom Kippur. Then it's considered to be deficient if he doesn't have it. But the rest of the year, it's only for a mitzvah. Taisus Yeshonim has a kasha. We know that everything that on Yom Kippur, that everything is done big day lovin on Yom Kippur is ma'akev. What do I need a special limud to teach me that this is ma'akev, that the mala'oshan is ma'akev? So he explains that's the avodah that's done on Yom Kippur, then it's ma'akev. But the mala'oshan, the ketaris is made before Yom Kippur. It's not prepared on Yom Kippur. So therefore, you might think that this mala'oshan ingredient is not ma'akev. Rav Amari says another reason we have two limudim is chad la'inish v'chad la'azhar. One is for the punishment and one is for the warning. Tanya Rabbi Elazar Omer V'lo so this is a riot to Rambam's Pshat. It says v'lo yomus einish. That is an einish. That's for the punishment of Misa. Ki be'anan ayra azhara. The be'anan ayra is a hara. So therefore, that's the azhara that you need the mala'ash. And it's a riot to So now it says in the parasha, it says that by parashas Achrei Moshe, it says by Davar Shalom Moshe Achrei Moshe Nei Bnei Aaron B'Karvasam L'Fnei Hashem V'Yamusa. It says, so this was spoken after the Misa of Nadav and Avihu. Nadav and Avihu came into the Kodesh Kadoshim, and this was said after. By Yom Shalom Moshe Darbal Aaron Achich Val Yom V'Cholei Sal HaKodesh Mibeis L'Paroich L'Pnei HaKaparis Asharon V'Lo Yomas Ki Be'ana Nireh L'Kaparis. So it says in this parasha Achrei Moshe Yochol Yu Shnei Amurim Kodim Misas B'nei Aaron. You might think that both of the psukim were said before the Misa of Bnei Aaron, before they died. The pasuk in Parashat Shmini says that after Moshe Aaron they benched Klal Yisrael. It says after that by the Chanukah Samizbeach, by Yom Shmini L'Meluim, it says that Nadav and Avihu brought an Eish Zorah, they were makriv in Eish Zorah, and they died. We're understanding, as Rashi explains at this point, that they were missing they had Misa because it was missing the ingredient of Mala Oshen. So you might think that both of these psukim are talking about Kodim Misas B'nei Aaron, meaning the warning not to come in with the missing the B'choles, coming in deficient, coming in with Ketores that's deficient, coming in needlessly into the Kodesh Kadosh. And the Misa, the punishment, V'lo Yomos, was said both before the Misa of B'nei Aaron. The pasuk in Parashas Achrei Moshe says, "By Davar Shalom Moshe, Achrei Moshe Bnei Aaron, Karvas Bnei Shem Yusu," and it says, "Val Yom V'Cholei Sel HaKodesh." Right? Maybe base Lavayel B'Cholei Sel HaKodesh base LaParech L'Pnei Kaparis Asharon V'Lo Yom was Kiban and Arla Kaparis. So it says that Achrei Moshe Bnei Aaron. So Yochel Yu Shnei Amurim Achrei Misa Shnei Bnei Aaron. You might think both the warning and the Misa are mentioned after the death. Talmud Loimar says Kiba Anan Eireh Kaparis, which we'll see in a minute how we know that means that it was before the Misa. Ketzad Ashara Kaidem Misa. The warning was mentioned before the Misa. The Einesh Achar Misa, but the punishment, when the Torah says the punishment of it, when it says the punishment, then that's mentioned when it says that V'chisan or Karel Kaparis Asharales V'lo Yomus, that's mentioned after the Misa. So the warning is before the Einesh, the V'lo Yomus is mentioned afterward. My Talmud, how do we know this? Amar Rava, Amar Kro, the pasuk says Ki ba'anan eirot. It says, I will appear, and the Hashras Shechina will be Kibanan Eiroi in the future, says that I will appear. Vadayan Loinir, and he said the future, meaning he hasn't appeared yet. And therefore, the Misa of Aaron, of Misa of Bnei Aaron, of Nadav Avihu, was that they came in when there was the Hashras Shechina, where Hashem appeared. And therefore, the Azhora said, Kibanan Eiroi, I will appear, meaning he didn't appear yet, there wasn't yet the Hashras Shechina. That must have been, that was mentioned before they came in, because when Nadav Avihu came into the Kodesh Kadosh, there already was Hashras Shechina, that's where they killed. But if the Misa was only mentioned afterwards, so why were they punished? Why did they have Misa? Kidasanya. Rabbi Elazar Eimer Lo Mesa B'nei Aaron Ela Shahayru Halachim B'nei Moshe Rabbeinu. Why did they have a Misa? For a different reason. Because they paskin the halacha in front of Moshe Rabbeinu, in front of Moshe the Rebbe. My Dorish, what do they darshan? V'nosa b'nei Aaron hakayin ish al mizbeach. It says that the sons of Aaron put a fire on the mizbeach. Al pi sheishiris min hashamayim, even though it was not necessary because the fire came down min hashamayim, mitzvah lahavim min hahedget. It's still a mitzvah to light your own fire. The mitzvah lahavim min hahedget. So the Gorari explains it's called therefore eish zara, because even though the fire it was there, it's a mitzvah to light this fire. It's called eish zara, because since they didn't ask, they were not entitled to bring it in, they were not allowed to bring it in without asking first, so that's why it's called a foreign fire, Eish Zorah. Continuing with the explanation now of the Mishnah. Yosef also, so the Kohen Gadol, after he then he puts the coals and the ketairos in the area between the bottom of the Aron. Then he walks backwards, because it's not covered, to turn around and have his back facing the Aron. Where do we see that this is the proper conduct? Amar Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. He says, the pasuk says, Amar Krova Yavash Shleima Labama Asher Begivan Yerushalayim. So this occurred in the beginning of Shlomo Melech's reign, before the base of Mikdash was built. The Boma was in Givan. He went from Yerushalayim to Givan. So it says that Vayavash Shlomo Labama Asher Begivan Yerushalayim. It says Asher Begivan Yerushalayim. V'chima inyan Givan Yerushalayim. What do you mean Givan Yerushalayim? He went from Yerushalayim to Givan. So what does it mean, Givan Yerushalayim? Ela Makish Yitziasa Mi Givan Yerushalayim. It makes a hackish comparison, like his Yitzia from Givan to Yerushalayim, from going from Givan back to Yerushalayim. The Boma, the Mizbech, was in Givan. When he went from Givan to Yerushalayim, Lebiyasa Yerushalayim LeGivan, like the Lebiyasa from when he went from Yerushalayim to Givan. Ma biyasam Yerushalayim LeGivan, just like when he left Yerushalayim, he went to Givan. So he's going to Givan. Panav klape bama kederach biyasa. He was walking towards the bama, and his face was towards the bama. After Yitziasam Givan Yerushalayim. So too, when he left Givan, came back to Yerushalayim, he did turn around. Panav klape bama. He was facing the bama kederach biyasa, just like he came, meaning he was walking backwards. So he walked backwards when he left the bama. As Rabbeinu Yaakov says, however, it doesn't mean walk the whole way backwards, meaning as he departed and he left the Boma, then he walked backwards, so as not to turn his back to the Boma, and then afterwards he walked back to Yerushalayim. So too the Kohanim Basum, Leviim b'Duchonam, and the Leviim, when they do the Shira on the Duchan, on the platform, Yisrael b'Ma'amodam, and the Yisrael, when they have their standing by the Avodah, the Shluchim of Klal Yisrael, to be standing by the Avodah. Kishem Niftar, when they depart, Lo Hayu Machzirim Paneim V'Holchim, they didn't turn around with their backs facing the Heichal. El Mitzdadim Paneim V'Holchim, they would turn their face sideways and go, living sideways, not to turn their back to the Heichal. Chain Talmud and Niftamei Rabbi, and also a Talmud, when he departs from his Rebbe, Lo Yachzir Panav, he shouldn't turn around and have his back facing the Rebbe. He should turn sideways and depart without his back to his Rebbe. Like Rabbi Lozer, when he departed from Rabbi Yochanan, when Rabbi Yochanan wanted to go, Rabbi Lozer would bow, standing in his place. Until Rabbi Yochanan was concealed from him, was beyond his vision, and then he would turn around. Because Rabbi Elazar, when Rabbi Elazar wanted to go, he would walk backwards. So he says a raya, and he would walk backwards until he was concealed from Rabbi Yochanan. Rava, when he was departing from Rabbi Yosef, he would walk backwards. He walked backwards, so he couldn't see where he was going, and he would bumped his legs and bruised his legs, and it was Mizvasan Askufa, the threshold of Rav Yosef got dirty. Rav Yosef Dama, it got dirty with the blood from the bruises and from the wounds from Rav as he was walking backwards. Rav Yosef, they told him Rav Yosef was blind. He didn't know that, so they told him that this was happening. This is what Rava was doing. He said to Rava, hey Rava, this harm Reisha Chakula Karva. He said, the schus of this, you have this schus that you should be elevated above the whole city. Meaning you should be the Mardasra and then Kachava.